because it is the long, strange trip, and the mysteries of the long, strange trip are many. If these characters are gods, as I had alluded to at one point in time, who has the skill and power to control and manipulate their world? Are they lunatics locked away in the Bergen or Sandburn? That's why you mentioned Sandburn. Gibbering on and on about the illusion. Maybe they're all still strapped to cold steel tables with that thick blue experiment pumping into their veins. Maybe they'll find out. But now, things have changed. I do that to them sometime. Joel and Dr. Kennedy, in basically an impossible save the world moment, in our last episode, not the Terroraticum, but the one before that, came into conflict with butchers of Golab beneath the temple of Kalamduga in Metropolis. That situation has ended. Revisited at some point, perhaps, but because I am as curious as I am evil, I'm throwing in my trump card as the game master, shifting the fiction back to 1989 on the island of Manhattan in the city and state of New York. Whether they continued on or they met their perish, their ends with the butchers, who knows? Maybe that's what this is. Death is only the beginning, after all. Could explain why, Joel, you wake up a 17-year-old on Friday, the 1st of September, 1989. What do you look like? I'll say you've gotten dressed.
I'm about... Oh, you don't want to see that mental image? Okay, so I am pretty tall, 5'11", dark, deep brown eyes. They're very hard. They don't shine so much. They almost have 1,000-yard stare in them. Angular face, pretty pointy. She's pretty fit. She's been through some stuff. You can tell by the way she holds herself. Long, dirty, really thick and big and poofy, dirty blonde hair. When you look at her arms and her hands and even some parts of her face, you see a lot of scars from knives, gunshots, fights, just bare fisticuffs, if you will. And then one sleeve,
already with the
one
gunshots.
tattoo sleeve on her. Yes. Not afraid of any fight, this one. And one tattoo sleeve on her right arm that depicts mountains and grasslands and rivers and flowings. It's a beautiful, beautiful scenery to stand out against the gnarly, gnarly monster that creeps over the edge of her shoulder on this tattoo. She's wearing just a jacket with crop top, black, jeans, sensible boots, good for walking, good for running, good for climbing, those types of things. She wears a cord around her neck with 2 silver bands on it, and a backpack is slung over her shoulder.
Tell me about the monster tattoo.
It's this really gnarled, messed up, like smoky face. So you can't really make out what it's supposed to be. If it's supposed to resemble like a bear, or if it's supposed to resemble some sort of like melting boogie monster. It's just this kind of gnarled, messed up face with searing red eyes that pop just right over the top of this beautiful mountain scenery.
Gotcha. 80s big hair, Tidor says.
Yeah, just imagine like the Beyonce big, like beautiful wig, and then put, just Just some 80s flair on it.
So at this point, have you left your parents' house and moved into your safe house?
Yeah.
Or does that come
The safe
later?
houses.
It just in perspective to when your story started the first time, we're about like 4 months in front of it, I think. So,
Well, that's the funny part. The safe house is the family house.
ew, gotcha.
So it is still their whole house. Yeah. The safe house section basically is in the basement, which is a hatch door underneath the kitchen table. That's where like the panic armory
I see.
situation all goes down.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had all right. I just had some other image in my head. So now it's morning time. You're up and about, but today you have a mission, and that is to go visit a garage in a part of Manhattan. Clutch's Body and Engine Shop. The interesting part is it's spelled shop like SHOPPE. I'm not exactly sure why. But that is your mission today. And this is regarding your investigation and your quest, we'll say, to find the murderers of your parents. Is that what you're after?
Mm-hmm. Always been after that.
So, right. And you're still trying to find out who they are at this point, right?
Mm-hmm. We got painted faces. That's all we're really working off of.
That's what's in your nightmares.
Every damn night.
When you're about to go to this garage, what are you thinking about? How do you prepare?
Make sure the gun that sits safely in the back of my jeans is loaded to the gills. Make sure my backpack is packed with all of the things you may need when going out on one of these adventures, including first aid kits, Game Boy in case you get bored on the subway, lighters, those types of things. Knife always strapped right to my hip, making sure I've got that on me. It's a nice little 8-inch blade we got. I don't want to nick them or just piss them off. You really want to get in there,
Yeah. You do not want to piss them off.
And just making sure the house is locked before you leave. I mean, that's kind of a big one.
Did you tell anybody where you're going?
Kind of. I don't have anybody to tell. The only person I know is this washed up drug dealer who occasionally cooks me dinner and has a thing for his best friend that he won't talk about, but
you're talking about Sasha.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Friday, he's at this point probably asleep. He will be working tonight, I imagine. And you haven't really gotten to meet any of the others at this point. Is that right? I mean, you know of his best friend. Have you met Harvey?
Well, yeah, we used to hang out, but then for some reason he just kind of disappeared, and I don't know, Sasha got a little sad about it, but he doesn't like to talk about Harvey anymore, so Harvey was just this, plunky, skinny kid that came over and we hung out and went and got snacks, and
he still is.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah. At this point, he's still in flux. Harvey's always been a bit of a dark, moody type. At least
You could say that.
At least in the beginning. So this takes you to the Lower East Side of Manhattan, to a garage that's seems to cater to rather rich clientele. That might explain the PPE. Just, I don't know, probably irony or something, maybe.
Is it like some French shit or something?
Well, Old English.
Never really finished high school, so.
Inside, it's nice. There's 4 different bays, for cars, and they indeed do cater to rich clientele. There's Mercedes, 2 Jaguars, and a rather old MG midget. That's not to use the derogatory term. That's actually what they called them back in the day. The little cars. The first car I ever drove was one of those, by the way, real life. Little green one. My mother had one. I loved it. I wish we still had it too, but parts are notoriously hard to find back then. I digress. A woman steps out of an office area. As you walk in, there's a few power tools. You notice that there is a guy and 2 women working underneath 3 of the cars. There's no one working underneath the 4th car. And a woman comes out who is in a coveralls, a one-piece garage uniform, so to speak. Although it's well fit, has the little circle patch with the name over the left side that says Slick. And she has dark, long, black hair that she has pulled back into a ponytail. She has a little bit of grease and stuff smeared on her, but is relatively clean if she just climbed out from underneath that 4th car at some point. And looks at you almost as if she recognizes you when she comes out, and then asks, "Can I help you?"
You got some pretty nice cars in here.
Indeed we do. Very important people
Rich
like
people
to use
buy
this. Yeah. Yep. You looking for a job?
Well, I guess you could say that in a way. But I'm more in the information business.
Information.
Yeah.
Okay. What can I learn you?
People, places, things, odd things. You ever see anything weird? Anything unusual? Doesn't sit right with you?
Who sent you to me? This is your story cue.
Nobody really sent me to you. They just pointed me in the right direction. And I can't say that they're still standing on their 2 feet. So if you really want to go back and try and find them, it's probably not going to work out too well for you. Last I knew, they were picking their teeth up off the ground. But they did tell me that you might know a little something about
You're the pissed off one.
Oh, is that what they call me, the pissed off one?
Your reputation precedes you.
No. Aren't I a lucky one? So, tell me what you know about certain things. You've obviously heard of me, so you know what I'm after.
Yeah, I do. You remind me of someone very special. Are you sure you're supposed to have this information?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Do you know what's going to happen from this point forward? Do you know how things will start to change for you? There's, if you wanted just a regular, simple life free of, murder and, weird things, it'd be best just to, go play your Game Boy or something.
I think that got tossed out the window when someone tossed my parents off a cliff. So, if you don't mind, let's make this snappy.
Huh. Okay. Well, here's what you need to sleep on. There's a predator that, sort of roams the island, per se. I'm not going to explain how
60 minutes?
How the what's-its work and things like that. But yeah, you can think of it like, a Jersey Devil or something. That's probably the easiest way to deal with that. And if you really, really want to get at whatever it is you want to get at, you can invite this predator into your dreams. And it'll get a good sense of what it is that it's after. That's kind of how it gets to fuck around in your head. And basically, it'll offer you an opportunity to get what you want, It usually deals with kind of how I see you dealing with things, biting the head off of somebody and going at it until you've ripped it free of their body. Maybe even the metaphors. But it will, of course, need you to do some things for it. And it's very, very helpful, but it can be quite possessive. But if
what kind of things?
If you're not averse to, making bad people hurt, it probably won't bother you too much. Well, let's just say that
I can handle that.
It needs a vengeance on certain things too, and it doesn't necessarily prowl our world per se. But again, we're talking about technicalities and stuff. So, but needless to say, you'll get it. Just think about all of that. Try to sort it out in your head tonight when you go to sleep. Maybe even take a couple sleeping pills just to make sure that you don't overthink it and lay awake all night. And the rest will take care of itself.
Are you bullshitting me?
Roll to read a person. And then I'll let you ask that question.
And read a person. Oh, my connection to the server's been interrupted.
Oh no, that's all right.
My internet died for a second. That's okay.
You're still with us. That's all right. I'm getting a smidge of lag.
Okay, read a person. Read person. Joel, read the fucking person. I suck at reading people.
That's a failure.
What happens when you fail read a person?
Your question. I'm gonna let you get your. Are you bullshitting me? Come out, because that was a natural, spontaneous response.
Mm-hmm.
It does, however, give me a move. And
of course it fucking does.
There's no accidental reveal. Slick already. You revealed yourself to Slick. You're only 17. She read you early. Maybe not immediately, but early. And
fair point.
So that doesn't necessarily hit, and I already know what your intentions are. So I'm going to take the move. She's going to kind of give a little snicker in response, as in, you know, I'm not bullshitting. And then says something about, I need to get back to work, and turns around and is going back into her office. And unless you interrupt, closes the door.
Oh, Joel immediately, as she turns around, just goes, you know what happens to the people who bullshit me, right?
You hear an air pressure hose from the mechanics in the garage.
Joel just turns on her heel and starts walking out the door, grumbling to herself, fucking in my dreams, fucking predator. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. These people are getting worse and fucking worse. Predator in your dreams. Okay. Invite him into your dreams. That sounds like a great fucking idea. Just sit down and have a nice little nightmare. Okay. And quickly just walks out, slams the door behind her. And just starts beat bopping down the street. Not really sure which way she's going, just kind of aimlessly wandering.
What are you thinking about?
I have a tendency to already have nightmares, so inviting something called the predator into them sounds a little odd. I mean, shit was weird to begin with, but not that weird.
Predator, somebody.
Maybe I've secretly been.
Somebody had brought that up in chat. I was going back to look. I thought you paused, but you hadn't. You were coming back with another sentence, so continue.
You know, this lady doesn't even know what fucking nightmares are comparatively to what my nightmares are, and that's weird enough. We don't need to add to the rest of this shit. What the fuck is a predator? I mean, this sounds like a bad movie. Well, fuck it. Maybe it could be a good movie. And it's just thoughts like that as she wanders down the streets aimlessly, headed toward the park.
Yeah, the Predator movie came out in '87, so you may already know about it. I think if
Joel with her parents wasn't allowed to go see those types of movies. She hasn't had the time since to go see it.
Nice. I told you not to come in here. My cat.
I was going to say, is that a cat?
Yes. Somebody's home.
Oh, let the kitty get in.
Yeah. That's the only time she ever wants to go anywhere, because she's like my cat. She's up my ass constantly. She hates to be in any room I'm not in, unless something else starts to happen. And if there's activity, she needs to go check it out, and then she's going to come right back. So if I let her out, she'll go check, and then she'll be scratching at the door in 3 minutes going, all right, I checked it out. Let me back in.
I want to know what's going on.
Yes. She thinks it's her house.
Of course it is. We're all just living in a cat's world, don't you know?
Right. And I'm going to save my move, by the way, for during your dream, which may or may not.
Of course you are.
Be a nightmare. What do we get? a host. Oh, thanks.
Oh, we're getting
And a
rated.
raid. Thank you very much, boys from Baltic Star. You get, we're going to go ahead and roll +0 for your nightmares. And in the weird indie film transition that I give is as you're walking down the street, right, and you've got your headphones in, I would imagine is how Joel walks down the street in Manhattan. Or does she go? Does she like to hear the noises around her?
It's like white noise. It sits right at the ear surface, but there's so much going on in the head that it doesn't quite compute, but she can still hear it. It's just kind of like a fuzzy background, just right at the base of the brain.
I get it. Just strolling down, and this is when that sort of transition kind of happens as you're thinking, and you realize that it's nighttime. And after a bit, the traffic starts to die down. And you get the sense that if you make a left in this next alleyway, yeah, that's probably where you need to go.
Joel pauses and just glances down the alleyway. Kind of just stands there, hands in her pockets, shoulder slumped, backpack, sagging. It's not cool to have it hiked up, you gotta have it sag just a little bit. And is there anything down the alleyway, or is it just a dark ass alleyway?
It is both. You see the alley. Dumpster. There's another dumpster just a little bit further down on the right. Bought some boxes, a little bit of debris blowing, but when you would usually expect to see the light coming from the cross street at the end of this section of the alley, you don't. About halfway, it's interrupted by what looks to be fog. And on the walls, you can't really make it out, but there is some light coming from this foggy area. It's like moonlight, although you don't really get to see moonlight in Manhattan. Everything has sort of this neon or orangish kind of glow to everything. And
yep,
this is moonlight. And you can also see plants and vines and thorny things that reach out from the moonlit area of the alleyway at the end. And near the ground, sort of breaking through the fog, it almost reminds you of a tiger maybe, but you can't really see. It's just the shape that breaks the fog. It's void of anything. Maybe it's darkness, only in contrast to the two very bright red eyes that it has. Cat-like eyes.
Joel squares up with the alleyway entrance. She's kind of standing parallel to it, like just glancing over her shoulder to the left. And then as she sees this, she squares up, like ready for a fight. You see that her spine stiffen as she slowly reaches behind her and grabs the gun from the back of her jeans and starts inching into the alleyway towards
the creature,
towards the mist.
Sort of snorts at you and gives a little twitch of its head, and it disappears. The alleyway opens up. You see the cross street in front of you. Behind you, you hear footsteps And a guy says, hey, what you got back there? You going for your wallet? You going for something else? And another set of footsteps with it, and another male voice says, yeah. Why don't you just go ahead and reach down there next to that ass and grab your wallet?
Okay, for one, you guys are absolutely fucking disgusting. For two, do you really think I'm that much of a fucking idiot that I would just give in to you and hand you over my wallet? How stupid do you think most girls are?
You feel just a little bit of air pressure against your back and a voice way too close to your ear from behind you, as you haven't turned to face these guys yet. So what are you going to do? You going to hurt me? Girly.
Oh, I don't even say anything. I just headbutt that motherfucker. I want to headbutt him.
Roll for violence.
I want to headbutt this asshole. Ooh, bitch, we're headbutting this asshole.
Nice.
Oh, I want to just slam my head back into his. Aiming for the nose. Aiming for the nose region.
That you do. With a 20, yeah, that is a complete success. I'm just looking at the list here. You inflict damage. Yeah, what? I'm trying to get better at the rules here. So let me go to weapons.
We're doing some rulies.
This is
Joel is just vibing.
We're going to say excessive force on an unarmed, since you're using your head. Usually that would be like a 1 or something, unless you're using your hands. But since you've really focused on it and you rolled a 20, or I would even go for, let's see, what's a crushing? Either way, a crushing weapon is 2. I was trying to maximize your damage and seeing if I could do it and stick to the rules.
Maximize my forehead.
Yeah.
Just maximize the back of my head to just slam into this dude.
So, yeah, are you 2 points of damage? His nose explodes, basically. And he screams just as a reaction, grabs his nose and steps away. The other guy goes to get you. He's not like shooting you or attacking you with a weapon. He's like basically going to grapple you. So let's make a reflexes, I think. So yeah, avoid harm.
Avoiding the harm.
Yeah, and he's actually not trying to do any harm to you. He's just trying to lock you in.
Get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just
But
gonna.
you don't. Do you do anything cool to get out of the way? Or do you know judo? Were you trained by a cool uncle as a kid? Where you can like tell us how you avoid it. Yeah, he's making a move to get you. How do you avoid it?
Since my dad is a military man, he did teach me the basics of hand-to-hand combat. That was kind of part of his little fun outings with the family, teaching you how to shoot and climb trees and all of that fun stuff. As a kid, I didn't spend my weekends in, poolside resorts. We spent it out in the wilderness learning all of these fun techniques. So as he comes at me and reaches his arms out to grab me, I just basically grab his wrist, yank it down, and then basically just decide to take my foot and shove it up his ass as hard as fucking possible and just get him shoved past me.
Nice. I'll let you do all that. If you want to attack this guy with your foot as part of it, with that little maneuver, it's your turn to roll violence. He made his move, you avoided it.
I sort of get it.
An 11.
I sort of get him with an 11.
That's a partial. You're not going to hurt him. You will knock him over, but that does expose you to the roundabout as the other guy has now sort of gathered himself from his nose being smashed across his face. And when you do it, all you see is just blood in his face, and it's already starting to turn purple. His eyes are going to turn. He'll be black and blue all the way across his face, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he's still pretty close. And at this point, he's had just a few seconds to gather himself. And he's like, I got to punch this bitch, right? So he makes a swing at you, and yeah, you'll need to avoid harm again.
Oh,
Woo!
hell yes.
A 17. All right.
Oh, Joel is like not having this shit. She's not having it. So as the dude comes, and she can kind of feel what's about to happen because she hears the dude getting his shit together. She's watching the other one roll on the ground. And so as he like picks up his hand to swing it at her, she grabs his arm and basically just throws him over her shoulder, and he just body slams right into the ground as she like rolls him over and just as hard as she can yeets him into the concrete.
Excellent. Give me a violence roll, and let's throw a +2 on there as a continuation of this move.
How does this fucking happen?
Is that with the +2?
Oh, I don't know.
What'd you?
I want a 2 with 2 + 1. Yeah.
Oh no.
It doesn't go well.
All right. So that's no big deal. You that was just on the slam. So that was, a bonus.
I get him rolled over.
Yeah, you get him tossed over. That all happens from the initial success. You just don't do as much damage. You don't do any damage to him in regards to the fight as you slam him down. You get all the force and you slam him down. Yeah. It's just not going to take him out. He will have to get up. And in the process of getting up, you have an opportunity. Actually, you don't get an opportunity because the other guy that you kicked is going to, he's gotten up during that move. So he's coming at you, but he's not going to make his move yet. So you can make another move on this guy that you just slammed in the ground, or you can get yourself ready for this other guy who's about to do something.
Do I have enough time to pull out my gun and just sigh really loudly and say, "Are you two fucking done yet, or do we have to keep playing this dance?"
Yes, you always have time to do those sorts of things.
Because that's really where Joel is at. She's like, "This is fucking stupid. You two fucking idiots. I don't have to sit here and kick the shit out of you all fucking night, do I?"
They seem ignorant of how powerful and true your statements are. It doesn't seem to faze them. So who do you shoot first?
Oh, definitely the dude who's coming at me.
Okay.
But I don't want to aim for vitals. I'm just going to aim for a kneecap,
Gotcha. You're using your handgun?
Yeah. For sure. It's my daddy's. Got to use that one.
Yes. Okay. Then it's your daddy's gun. No, I'm not going to give you a Magnum. I'm going to give you something to upgrade to. You just have the regular handgun, which is worth 2, but the guy that's coming at you has already lost 2 from the first move you made. And you can shoot him, or you can overkill and use 3 or multiple targets. You can roll and hit up to 1 additional target, according to the handgun.
Oh, I'd like to do that, please.
All right, so let's make.
I'd like to do that, please.
Let's make a violence roll.
All right, hey, dude. This
Nice.
is why I love Joel. This
Excellent.
is why we love our girls.
The guy that's coming at you is the first guy you hit. You get 2 bullets into this guy, and they're going to kill him. Oh. Where do you shoot him?
Knees. Both knees.
You have to kill this one guy. You're going to get the other guy, but you're not going to, but you have to kill one.
Oh, I have to choose one to kill.
Yeah.
Well, choose the dude who was getting all up in my personal space. I don't fucking appreciate that shit.
Oh, is he the one that you body slammed?
Yeah.
Sometimes I get confused.
Yeah, the dude who I body slammed and also headbutted.
Right. So
I just put one right between his fucking eyes if I can.
Yes. He's down instantly. The other guy, you can take him out at the knees. He falls down, screaming, cussing, not liking you very much in this moment.
Oh, I just go stand over the top of him and just watch him suffer for a minute.
He just keeps screaming and saying things I really don't want to keep saying over and over because it's Erika on the other end. I just can't. I just can't keep calling you that stuff.
I was like, oh man, I really want to hear you just keep trying.
Yeah, it doesn't come out, but yeah, he's giving you all the fucking bitches and I hate you and like trying to reach for a gun that he can't find, trying to like, where's my gun? Which probably came off at some point.
Oh, I just put my foot on his chest, closer to the throat, but not on the throat, because I still want to listen to him scream a little bit.
Right.
And I just like lean down over him and just spit in his face.
Yeah, that really fires him up.
I'm sorry. Did you really think that was just going to go your way? You were going to take a poor girl's money and just, do whatever you wanted with her? Because, sorry, it doesn't always work out that way for you, does it, honey?
In the middle of his cursing, and it's about halfway through your speech, he starts to go silent. At first, you think it's you, but then you realize at the end, as his face starts to really turn white and his eyes get wider and wider, you realize he's looking at something behind you. And you hear a voice sort of a growly purr is the only way to really describe it. Almost like a feline, but it's not. It's like if a tiger guy, like, it's like you walked up and was talking to some dude that was like half tiger and really scary, but like, like an amorphous tiger. That might be what this voice comes from.
Is it like a sexy purr? Or is it more of like a just gravelly?
It could go both ways.
Huh. Okay. I don't turn yet. I'm still looking down at the lifeless man underneath me, just kind of sussing out if I should turn around or not.
You have a very strong desire to do something to this guy, but you hold off. The voice says, if you finish him, I will be in debt to you. But this debt goes back and forth. Sometimes it's never ending. But there's always something for you in it. But there's always something for me. If you want me to kill him so that you can go away alive, I could do that. If you don't want to kill him, and you don't want the deal, then you need to.
Joel just looks straight up, lowers her gun to the head of the man laying on the concrete, and just pow. One right into his open mouth.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it. The Garu mark. What's that? That's a name I'm not familiar with.
Garrow. I don't know what
Yeah,
that is.
Pacho mentioned it. All right.
I don't know.
I'm going to have to look that one up.
I was like, we got to Google. Get the Google. What is that thing that you speak of? Gary. Is it Garu?
Well,
Garu?
I don't know.
Mark of the Wolves.
Ooh.
It's an anime. Like, oh, it's a fighting game. It looks like anime. I'm sorry.
Interesting. Well, maybe you can use it for flavor. This is, here we're going to have a little cult lesson moment since I'm kind of killing time, stretching out our hour here just a little bit. We are going to be a little bit short, but that's all right because Erika will forgive me because you know what I have sitting over here waiting for me? You saw me munch one right before we got started. Your favorite.
I did.
Nuggies. I got nuggies sitting right there.
You have a nuggies waiting?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm so excited about them too.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm fucking nuggies, man.
Here's your future, and then we'll do a debrief.
Okay.
The slumbering predator. Everybody's getting new pacts. I already kind of clued Erika in a little bit about this earlier. I was trying to figure some matrix titling method that I could do, you know, like redo or resurrection or, you know, Manhattan Resurrection or something like that. But it's basically Curtis screwing around with stories. So you have a pact now with the slumbering predator. This was the change. I had the other one that we had talked about earlier, but this is your new one. So she, the slumbering predator, even though I sort of presented it a little bit masculine, I didn't really intend that to happen. It just kind of did. Was once...
Hey, ladies can be masculine too.
You're right. Was once a predator, a being from a world of thorns, ink black lakes, and clear starry skies deep inside Gia's wilderness. She was blessed with strong muscles, sharp senses, and an instinct for predicting her prey's movements. She pinned her victims to the ground with her powerful claws and ate of them alive. Then she strayed into the borderland between Elysium and Gia, where she saw the city lights was enchanted. Then she ate the first leftovers from the trash. She heard our music. She witnessed all of the colors in our movies and television. She assumed our shape and soon forgot who she was. I'm not going to tell you anymore. She does lots of stuff, but one of the things she does is she prowls around and makes deals, and she can take you to Gia should you want to go there.
Take me to Gia.
She can kill any person or a creature you point out to her. She can provide you some of her divinity. She can appear and protect you if you summon her. And she can help you summon Gaia's beasts. I'll get all this for you so you don't have to get it all recorded now.
Do you notice how my camera is slowly sliding away?
However,
I need to figure out a new solution to this.
Once you accepted it and you got your kill, you were not happy with that kill. That kill was not satisfying at all. You could sense that she was very happy about it, and you now want to kill somebody else. In the middle of Manhattan, well, in the business area, the fancy area where you can go down, where the tourists go down in the morning and hang outside of the Today Show. And there's the other buildings, and CBS is down there, and all of these things. There is also the New York Fox News studio. And in that studio is a particular person who is reaching a powerful celebrity status that is changing and influencing the way things are happening in the world. And you don't know why this particular person is eating at the back of your head right now, but you want nothing better to do than to get in a cab at this moment and go downtown and see if you can find this person and put a bullet in their face. And you know that that would be very satisfying to this creature who's going to help you find the people who killed your parents and help you kill them too. That's all I have. The only thing I have left is a note that says GNSDWLY, which I believe means good night, sweet dreams, and we love you. You should say it too.
Oh, good night, sweet dreams. We love all of you. That's so cute.
Good night, everybody.
I love that thing.